He's considered the weakest hunter in the world, but after nearly dying in a dungeon, he gains a unique ability to level up, a power that could make him the strongest. 10 years ago, mysterious gates began appearing worldwide, unleashing countless monsters immune to conventional weapons. Humanity struggled until a group of humans awakened special powers, allowing them to fight back. These individuals became known as hunters, ranked based on their abilities. However, once their powers awaken, hunters can't level up. The only way to grow stronger is by upgrading their equipment. We meet Jin Woo. Park approaches him. Park reveals his wife is pregnant, so he needs to earn money by raiding dungeons. As they talk, a boy named Jin Woo approaches and everyone greets him. Park wonders if Jin Woo is someone important, but he's actually the weakest hunter, infamous for almost dying in the easiest dungeon. A girl named Juhi approaches, asking about the injuries on his face. Jin Woo explains he got hurt in a raid because their party had no healer. His companions were so strong they didn't think they needed one. Juhi calls them selfish, but Jin Woo blames himself for being weak, saying he's used to being treated as a burden. The leader, Song-chi, calls for a meeting, and the team prepares to enter the gate. Kim warns Jin Woo to be careful, fearing he might get injured again. Jin Woo is determined to succeed, even though he can only afford a generic knife as his weapon. As they enter the dungeon, we learn that hunters profit by selling magic stones obtained from monsters. These stones are valuable resources used to craft powerful equipment. The government also plans to use them as a new, efficient, and pollution-free energy source. Inside the dungeon, Jin Woo obtains his first magic stone, but a goblin attacks him. His knife shatters and he's stabbed. Park kills the goblin and Juhi heals Jin Woo. The team defeats the dungeon boss, but they're disappointed with the loot. However, they discover a hidden tunnel, realizing it's a double dungeon with more loot. Song-chi insists they wait for orders from the Hunters Association, but Kim suggests breaking the rules to collect the loot. The team takes a vote, and Jin Woo's decision will break the tie. He thinks about his family, his missing father, hospitalized mother, and student sister, and decides to enter the tunnel. Meanwhile, officials test new hunters to determine their rankings. The guild master of the Hunters Guild, Choi, orders offers to be sent to promising recruits. Elsewhere, a girl stops thieves from stealing a bag, revealing herself as the S-rank hunter Ha-in. She avoids the public's attention and escapes the scene. Back in the dungeon, the team explores the tunnel. Juhi questions Jin Woo's decision, reminding him he almost died. They find a door, but upon entering, they're surrounded by statues. An ancient tablet instructs them to worship and praise God to prove their faith, or they won't leave alive. The statues come to life, killing one hunter instantly. Jin Woo realizes the statues are too powerful for a low-ranked dungeon. He recalls his near-death experiences and uses his observational skills to guide the team. The statues attack, and Song-chi loses an arm. Jin Woo helps stop the bleeding, but the situation grows dire. Jin Woo recalls the tablet's commandments, and realizes the statues won't attack if they keep their heads low. The team follows his instructions and the statues deactivate. However, the statue of God begins moving, and Jin Woo deduces they must activate statues with instruments to survive. He manages to activate the last statue, but not before losing a leg. The team survives, but many are dead. Kim blames Song-chi, but Jin Woo takes responsibility. Knowing they must prove their faith to escape, the team faces the final challenge, a human sacrifice. Jin Woo examines the altar, and flames appear. He realizes they must survive until the flames disappear. As the team panics, Jin Woo keeps his cool, but Kim decides to flee, leaving the others behind. Jin Woo is the last one standing, fighting the statues until the timer expires. He receives a message asking if he wants to become a player. Jin Woo wakes up in a hospital, fully healed. The manager of the Hunters Association, Jin Chul, explains he was unconscious for 3 days. Song-chi lost an arm and may retire, while Juhi needs psychiatric care. The White Tiger Guild found Jin Woo lying on the ground, but the statues were gone. Jin Chul tests Jin Woo's power level, but it's abysmally low. Jin Woo realizes he's the only one who can see a system screen, and he accepts a daily quest to grow stronger. Jin Woo's sister Jin Ah visits, worried about him. She suggests quitting school to help, but Jin Woo refuses. He discovers he can level up through combat and gains a magic sword from inventory. Feels like a gift from the heavens, but he can't shake the feeling that something is off. How did such a powerful weapon end up in his possession? He pushes the thought aside, focusing on survival. As he ventures deeper, more monsters appear, wolves, goblins, and even a giant centipede. Each battle pushes him to his limits, but Jin Woo refuses to give up. He recalls his past failures, the times he was treated as a burden, and the constant fear of being the weakest hunter. Now with the ability to level up, he feels a fire burning within him. He's no longer the same Jin Woo who relied on others to survive. After defeating a pack of wolves, Jinwoo reaches level 3. His stats increase, and he feels a surge of power coursing through his body. He notices that his wounds heal faster and his movements become more precise. The system notifies him of new skills he can unlock, but he decides to save his ability points for now. He knows he'll need every advantage to face the dungeon boss. The dungeon grows darker and more ominous as he approaches the final chamber. The air is thick with tension and the sound of his footsteps echoes eerily. Suddenly, the ground shakes and a massive figure emerges from the shadows, a towering goblin king wielding a jagged axe. Jinwoo's heart races, but he tightens his grip on the magic sword. This is it, the moment that will determine whether he lives or dies. The Goblin King charges, its axe swinging with devastating force. Jinwoo dodges narrowly, his instincts sharpened by countless near-death experiences. He counters with a slash, but the monster's thick hide absorbs the blow. The battle is grueling, each strike pushing Jinwoo closer to exhaustion, but he refuses to back down. He remembers his family, his mother in the hospital, his sister relying on him, and his resolve hardens. With a final desperate attack, Jinwoo plunges the magic sword into the Goblin King's chest. The monster roars in agony before collapsing, its body dissolving into a pool of black smoke. Jinwoo falls to his knees, gasping for breath. The system notifies him of his victory, and he gains a significant amount of experience, leveling up once more. As the dungeon begins to collapse, Jinwoo finds a teleportation stone among the loot. He uses it to escape, reappearing in the subway station. The key he used to enter the instance dungeon crumbles to dust, and he realizes it was a one-time use. But the rewards are worth it. He's stronger, more confident, and ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Jinwoo returns to the hospital where his sister Jin-Ah is waiting. She scolds him for overworking himself, but is relieved to see him safe. Jinwoo reassures her, promising to take better care of himself. He checks his system screen, noticing new quests and rewards. The daily quests are becoming more challenging, but the rewards are equally enticing. He decides to focus on completing them to further increase his stats. Meanwhile, the Hunters Association continues to investigate the mysterious dungeon incident. Jin Chul, the manager, remains suspicious of Jinwoo's survival. He orders surveillance on Jinwoo, convinced that there's more to the weak hunter than meets the eye. Jinwoo, unaware of the scrutiny, continues his training, determined to grow stronger. One day, while completing a daily quest, Jinwoo encounters a group of hunters in trouble. They're being overwhelmed by a horde of monsters and their healer is incapacitated. Jinwoo hesitates. He's still considered the weakest hunter, and intervening could put him at risk. But he remembers the times he was left behind and decides to help. Using his newfound strength and skills, Jinwoo turns the tide of the battle. The hunters are shocked by his performance, unable to believe that the infamous weakling is now saving their lives. After the fight, they thank him, but Jinwoo brushes it off, saying he just did what any hunter would do. Word of Jinwoo's action spreads and he begins to gain a reputation. Some hunters are skeptical while others see potential in him. Jinwoo, however, remains focused on his goal, to become strong enough to protect his family and never be a burden again. As Jinwoo continues to level up, he receives a notification about a high-ranked dungeon appearing in the city. The Hunters Association issues an emergency alert, calling all available hunters to prevent a dungeon break. Jinwoo knows this is his chance to prove himself. The dungeon is filled with powerful monsters, and even experienced hunters struggle to make progress. Jinwoo fights alongside them, his unique ability to level up giving him an edge. He saves several hunters from certain death, earning their respect. When they reach the dungeon boss, again, Jinwoo takes the lead, using his skills and strategy to weaken the creature. In a climactic battle, Jinwoo delivers the final blow, defeating the dragon and preventing the dungeon break. The hunters cheer and Jinwoo feels a sense of accomplishment he's never known before. He's no longer the weakest hunter, he's a hero. Jinwoo's life changes dramatically after the high-ranked dungeon. He's offered a position in a prestigious guild, but he declines, preferring to remain independent. He continues to complete daily quests, level up, and explore dungeons, always striving to improve. His mother's condition remains unchanged, but Jinwoo is determined to find a cure. He uses his earnings to provide the best care for her and support his sister's education. Jin-Ah, inspired by her brother's determination, decides to pursue her dreams with the same tenacity. As for Jinwoo, his journey is far from over. The system continues to present new challenges, and he knows there are greater threats lurking in the shadows. But he's ready. With his unique ability and unwavering resolve, Jinwoo is no longer the weakest hunter. He's a force to be reckoned with.